BJP fails the test tomorrow, and if the BJP succeeds in the test tomorrow, what does it mean for the market on Monday?
So, Lata, I think if you see the high point of the Nifty after the verdict came out, the Nifty was at 10,950. Yes. It's already down to 10,650. So I think somewhere the market has sort of put this in the past that the BJP, if it doesn't form the government, the worst is probably already in the price. You probably get another 50, 100 points on the way up. If they do, I don't think it's going to be much more significant than that, because there are still a lot of PSU bank, pharma earnings that are still likely to come through. Crude is at 80. I think there's a lot for the market to worry about beyond just one state elections. But I think if the BJP doesn't do it, I think it's already probably in the price with the 300-point fall you've seen in the market.
Okay, I don't think it can be more ably put. Thank you very much, Rahul. If the negative is there in the price and the positive, if any, is 100 points, because once again, crude will tell and earnings will tell. And public sector banks' woes will tell. I think Ashmit is back.
Yes, we do have Ashmit with us just to wrap up what he's seen in court, considering he was there. Ashmit, over to you.
Well, as we are all aware, the export has laid down the position that is, at least as far as this current issue is concerned, given that there are broader constitutional issues involved, issues regarding whether or not the governor enjoys discretion, whether or not the governor's actions are subject to judicial review, whether or not a governor can be injuncted. These are broader questions which the Supreme Court said will take time. But given the urgency of the current situation, given that there is a situation in Karnataka regarding the governance which needs to be resolved, it's critical that this issue be remedied. And the only solution that the Apex Court had as of right now is to expedite the floor test. So towards that end, what we understand is that the Apex Court has laid down the deadline. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. is when we can expect a floor test in the Karnataka Assembly. Now, this was, mind you, a position that was steadfastly opposed by Mr. Rohati. He's appearing for Mr. Yediyurappa. He made his position clear that the constitutional precedents are clear, that a time period of at least 15 days should be provided. If not 15, he requested for at least a 7-day period. And then he subsequently revised his position even further to requesting a date on Monday or on Tuesday for conducting those tests. Clearly, the BJP, clearly the Yediyurappa government looking to buy time as of right now. The Apex Court, however, wouldn't have it any other way. The Apex Court has now laid it down, has made it clear that tomorrow is when the Yediyurappa government will have to make its position clear. And this, importantly, came on the back of arguments by both Abhishek Manu Singhvi as well as Kapil Sibal, who argued that at least as far as the numbers are concerned, they have the numbers on their side, that they've made the submission before the governor, and that they are the ones with whom the mandate rests, and that they will make good the numbers come the floor test tomorrow. So they've presented a confident front. This, of course, is the immediate issue at hand. The broader issue, however, continues to prevail, with both Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi as well as Kapil Sibal arguing that at least as far as governor's actions are concerned, not beyond judicial review, can be subject to judicial review, can be corrected, and that discretion cannot be absolute. So those are broader questions. Well, perhaps the Apex Court will decide at a later date. For now, at least as far as the tussle in Karnataka is concerned, a solution appears to be in sight by way of the Apex Court orders. Supreme Court directing a floor test tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the Karnataka Assembly.
That's the appointed hour then, Ashmit. Thank you very much for that. Well, on that note, we're going to take a break, but we're going to ask Rahul to stay back because we have a market to get back to and some interesting stocks to discuss. Back in a moment.
Hashtag surprise. बैंक अकाउंट खोल रही हूँ. फोन दो. क्यों? अब आधार डिटेल्स अपलोड करो. अकाउंट ऑन. हैशटैग फोन पे. क्यों नहीं? इंस्टेंट अकाउंट ओपनिंग एंड मोर. स्टैंडर्ड चार्टर्ड.
इससे पिलर्स मजबूत बनेंगे. घर के भरोसेमंद कंधे. नेवर क्रैक.
बिल्कुल माँ की तरह. नहीं, मेरा मतलब था कि आप डैड हमेशा बिजी रहते थे ना काम में.
नालायक कहेगा.
MP बिरला परफेक्ट प्लस. घर का हर हिस्सा बनाओ परफेक्टली मजबूत.
Happy birthday, darling.
कुछ ऐसे ही पर्सनलाइज्ड और टाइमली स्टॉक अलर्ट्स नए स्टॉक नोट ऐप पर अब सब कुछ हो सकता है.
Investment and securities markets are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Start to end, giving your day 100%. After it all, have you still got the energy to do more?
Yes.
Vitamins omega-3 and soy proteins healthy energy packed in delicious Sofit.
Sofit, healthy energy to do more.
Farming is our wisest pursuit because it is not just a job, it is a way of life. A visionary leader Himself a farmer, the Chief Minister of Telangana State, Shri K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who believes in the concept of Farmer First, came up with a revolutionary initiative, Raitu Bandhu. India's first of its kind massive agricultural investment scheme to support more than 58 lakh farmers, providing rupees 8,000 per acre per year for 2 crops for each farmer with a generous budget of rupees 12,000 crores. Unheard of anywhere in Indian history, for first time in Telangana, cleansing and updating of land records took place covering 1,42 lakh acres, distributing unique tamper-proof Patadar passbooks with 17 security features, creating a new hope for small and marginal farmers with Raitu Bandhu checks. We are Telangana, inspiring the nation.
Get your kitchen to the next level of luxury with Architect Drawers. Hetic fittings make your furniture work beautifully. German quality you can trust.
We're the new kind of people in town. We're not waiting for the market to wake up. Introducing the new way to invest and grow anytime. The new way to get rich. Angel B. Download now. Mutual funds are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully before investing.
Welcome back. Well, just a quick word on Biocon. They have made a disclosure to the exchanges that they have sold 1.8% in Syngene. So that's important to note because that entire transaction would be worth over around 200 crores plus. But also important to note that the company had mentioned that they would probably look to pare off some amount of stake in the company. They had mentioned it post their Q4 numbers. So that's exactly what's happened. So as of now, they have made that disclosure that I think it was on the 16th or 16th of May that they did do that. So they have sold around 1.8% stake in Syngene. So important news coming in there. But nonetheless, we have Rahul Arora still with us. Rahul, you know, a lot of consumption stocks have come out. We've seen the ITCs and the HULs. What's your pick?
On the FMCG staple side, it would probably be Lever and Nestle would probably be the top 2, followed by Britannia, 3rd. Probably Jubilant Foodworks 4th and Gillette 5th. We would have an underweight stance on ITC.
That's really interesting because the last time I remember our conversation, you were a little circumspect about Jubilant's earnings, whether that trajectory of growth can continue or not. At least this quarter, it's been quite fantastic. But my question is a little different. Rahul, how do you look at the market's reaction to FMCG earnings when numbers are phenomenal, but stock prices have had a more measured reaction at the end of this quarter, as opposed to, let's say, Bajaj Finance? Again, phenomenal numbers, and look at what the stock does. So, I mean, how do you read the market's reaction to good earnings?
So I think you have to pick and choose, Surbhi. I think if you see Lever, it's on the verge of overtaking ITC's market cap. It's just about 1% here or there, and it just hit a new life high a couple of days back after results. So it's done well. I think if you look at the Daburs, Emami, Godrej's, they've sort of been more subdued. And I think when you look at FMCG staples, you have to distinguish between market leaders and earnings growth vis-a-vis people that just have a high return ratio and probably are not giving you the kind of trajectory on earnings growth. So just case in point, you know, ITC, which is the point we've been making, is about 28 times FY20, but you're not going to get a double-digit growth on sales, EBITDA or PAT. On the other hand, if you, to go back to Ekta's question, if you go back to a Lever or a Nestle or a Britannia, you're going to get 20% plus earnings growth. This is why these stocks are continuing to make newer highs. The point here, Surbhi, is in the search for value. People are not getting growth. So as we were discussing in the break, there is value in pharma, but there is no growth. There is value in IT, but there's no growth. There's value in industrials as well, but there's, you know, the capex cycle is not picking up. So if your mutual fund inflows are going to be as strong as they are, and you're getting 20% earnings growth in one part of the market, it is a herd mentality to chase that. So therefore, Britannia, which was probably a 30 PE stock, today is a 50 PE stock.
No, I totally get that, that argument.
You know,
my only question was with respect to why the growth is there. The numbers have been phenomenal. Yes, stocks are at 40 times already. Even the response to something like a Jubilant, where we didn't see a magnificent run-up post the numbers. I mean, is to an extent, is that hefty valuation beginning to weigh?
I think so, Surbhi. I think there are not too many stocks in India that are at about $3.5 billion of market cap that went up 250% in a year, specific to Jubilant FoodWorks.
Okay, all right, Rahul. I think we just have to cut you across there. We need to cut across to Abhishek Manu Singhvi.
आप नीचे बैठो मैम प्लीज 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 आप बैठो एक बार हाँ बैठिए एक दो माइक हमें दो यार एक दो माइक बहुत आप लोग बैठो बहुत आप आगे जाइए ना बस
जब तक आप लोग बोलेंगे मैं नहीं बोल सकता हूँ जब तक आप लोग बोलेंगे मैं नहीं बोल सकता हूँ प्लीज डोंट स्पीक
आप बैठिए बहुत आप बैठिए आप आगे जाइए
माइक हटाइए नीचे होइए मैं बोल रहा हूँ प्लीज कीप क्वाइट नो नॉइज
प्लीज प्लीज कीप क्वाइट इसको नीचे रख लीजिए प्लीज
अब सुनिए
बहुत सुन लीजिए
सुनिए शांति
भैया सुन लीजिए चुपचाप
मेरा चला तो आने दो भैया मेरा चला तो आने दो नीचे करो
अरे एक मिनट नीचे करो यार आप बैठना पड़ेगा थोड़ा सा नीचे
अब शांति क्वाइट मैं बोल रहा हूँ नीचे करो ना भैया मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ और इंग्लिश में बोल रहा हूँ आप शांति मेंटेन करें बोले नहीं बीच में मैं पहले बोलूंगा हिंदी में फिर अंग्रेजी में बोलिए नहीं बीच में प्लीज डोंट स्पीक आई रिक्वेस्ट यू आई बेग यू प्लीज रास्ते में नहीं आइए और माइक नीचे रखिए रास्ते में नहीं आइए और माइक नीचे रखिए माइक ऊपर आ रहा है आप बैठ जाइए नीचे ऊपर नहीं उठिए फ्रेंड्स आज उच्चतम न्यायालय ने आज उच्चतम न्यायालय ने एक ऐतिहासिक आंतरिक आदेश दिया है वो ऐतिहासिक आंतरिक आदेश के अंतर्गत कई बहुत ही प्रमुख आदेश दिए गए हैं पहला कि तुरंत फ्लोर टेस्ट होगा कल होगा फिर फ्लोर टेस्ट होने के पहले 4 बजे के पहले सभी को ओथ दिया जाएगा एक प्रो टेम स्पीकर के अंतर्गत.
Okay, so we'll get you more updates coming in from that particular comment from Abhishek Manu Singhvi. But nonetheless, Rahul, before we let you go, we do have some news about Biocon selling stake in Syngene as well. They've declared it on the exchanges, 1.88% stake. What would you make of it?
It's one stock which you got so wrong, Ekta, to be honest. But I think anything incremental in terms of capital would be good for them, because I think our call was that biosimilars is a very, very tough business. And the way the R&D has been capitalized for Biocon is something that we're not sure about how it's going to be going forward, especially with the Malaysia facility coming on board with depreciation costs rising. So I think anything in terms of incremental capital will be good. It's been one of our only sells that we've had in pharma, so it's not too high in the pecking order. But if you are looking to play pharma, as you know, we've been positive on Reddy's, and that's gone horribly wrong as well. But I think a switch from, if you made money in Biocon, a switch from Biocon to Cipla may not be the worst thing to do at this point in time.
Okay, all right, Rahul, completely out of time. Thank you for joining in today. As you're winding down, there is pressure back on the market. Watch out for more weakness on ICICI Bank. Yes Bank is at the day's low, and Reliance Industries itself is taking things lower this afternoon. We are rounding up on trading hour, but don't go anywhere because halftime report comes up next.